Hello, everyone. We're back with podcast number 2. This is Dad again. It's going to be pros and cons of being big and small. I am small, he is big. This is why we are doing this. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Alright, so what are the pros of being tall?
I can reach things
Mm.
that are high up. Really high up things, I can reach them. I'm
I see.
5'10". So I'm like, I don't know, maybe slightly above average, but average, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Greg, he said that he was average. He's like one of the tallest people I know.
Yeah, I think he's probably closer to six feet.
Which, I mean, if you're 12 feet tall, you can stand in the deep end.
If you're 12 feet tall, you could stand in the deep end. But I don't know if anyone has ever been 12 feet tall. That's really, really... I mean, Greg is 6 feet tall, so it would be double his height.
Yeah, and then you'd be able to be able to stand in the deep end.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But it'd be pretty weak. I think, alright, so pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to be able to stand in the deep end by being 12 foot tall. But I think that might be so tall that there would be some serious side effects, like unintended consequences. Well, yeah, you know what I mean? Like there'd be...
Yeah, you'd have bad posture everywhere you went.
Yeah, you'd have to duck through every doorway. Like these ceilings are only, I think, 8 feet tall. If you're 12, then that's... you'd have to duck even in this room. You'd have to have a special house.
You're gonna be over here, and then there's that little piece of wood right there.
Yeah.
Just... Ow.
Yeah, you'd already be bent over, and then you'd hit your head on that anyway.
Yep.
So 12 feet would be considered extreme, I think.
Basically, yes.
To the point of it being inconvenient. But you like the idea of being tall.
Yes, I would love that feeling.
But maybe not 12 feet.
Yeah.
Aside from the deep end thing. And then maybe, I don't know, what else could you do if you were 12 feet tall?
Probably evacuate kids from buses.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe basketball. Of course, that's kind of a no-brainer, I guess.
Just, hey,
You know,
pass the ball to me. Thunk.
Yeah, you could reach right over everyone's head.
Yeah. It'd be like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, for sure. You'd have to have like a special car.
Yeah.
I think there would be more downsides, more negative, side effects, untoward effects.
Back to being average.
Okay, so back to being average. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Yeah.
So, what are more pros of being tall?
Well, it's tough for me to come up with some because it's common for me. So I don't think about it often. But I suppose, in the kitchen, I can reach cabinets that Mom can't reach. Of course, I already said I could reach things. I don't know. Help me out here. What am I missing?
Reach tall heights. You can basically be better at any sport.
Yeah, most sports, I guess. I think a big one that we're overlooking is people's perceptions of you.
I don't know what perceptions means.
So if you meet someone who's tall for the first time, if someone is a tall, big person, then you kind of automatically, deep down inside, you're like, this person is big and strong. You know what I mean? As opposed to meeting someone who's small and frail looking. You know what I mean? How you would just...
yeah.
Your perception is how your brain takes in information and forms, analyzes, data and forms thoughts and opinions, basically projects, patterns onto the world. So if someone's big and strong, then you project patterns like this person could potentially do things that little frail person couldn't do. You know what I mean? So people believe you to be more capable of some things.
So basically, they're just making a PowerPoint to the whole world.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you're projecting strength if you're big and strong looking. But you could be big and super skinny and still not project that, but you could still reach things.
Yeah. What are some cons of being tall?
Well, it's harder to fit into some places. Obviously, right?
I'd assume.
Even at work, there's some spaces that sometimes require people to get into that are like some big people just can't get in there, but a small person can. Which sounds like a bad thing because, then you end up doing the work that the bigger people probably didn't want to do anyway. But it's a good thing because then people think highly of you if you do it, and do it well.
Yeah, I think it might be rough on tall people that people from like another let's say town would expect, like, their expectations from you would be to climb into small spaces, fix some wiring, tighten a loose bolt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all in a small space, so that might be really difficult to a tall person.
Yeah. I think that most things that we use in our lives are designed with average people in mind. So if you're too big or too small, then it makes the world that we live in difficult to interact with. But for the most part, if you're, let's say, between 5 feet and 7 feet, then the world's pretty, most things are made, usable for you.
So before we move on to pros and cons of being small, can you give me another example of a con of being small or tall?
It's tough, like I said, to come up with them. I don't think about it often.
Yeah. Possibly.
Well, okay. So I said that people's perceptions of you, that could go either way, because people might look at you and realize you're tall, and then develop ideas or opinions in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Some people might draw certain conclusions, whether they be positive or negative, also because you're tall.
Yeah. These days, it's mostly either, like, 80% of the time, it's most likely negative. But, like, that 20% is probably positive. Or...
You talking about opinions of people for having been tall or short?
Tall. So, like, their perception, whether they think negative or positive, I think that 80% of the time they're going to think negatively and about you, and like 20% of the time they're going to think positively, or they just don't care at all.
Yeah, I was going to say 80% is a lot. Do you think people think negatively that much?
These days, most likely, because with Fortnite, it's messing with people's attitude. That's why I stopped playing it.
Yeah.
And changed to different games that might help my attitude.
Yeah, I think Fortnite is kind of a toxic environment if there ever was one.
Yeah, right now,
it's
David...
competitive, so people talk smack, and it kind of brings out the worst in people.
Yeah, and David, he's probably playing Fortnite downstairs. But, back to pros and cons. So, a pro of being small is you can fit in small spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Just like for me, if I rented an apartment and it took less steps to get from my kitchen to my bedroom, it would still be the same amount of steps whether you liked it or not. Just like from the kitchen to your guys' bedroom in an average house, that's a lot of steps for a small person, but I've been able to cope with it.
Yeah, like it's easier for someone who's bigger and stronger, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess like you could be very strong if you're small, but you would still be strong for your size. A strong,
Yeah.
bigger person for their size would be stronger. You know.
Yeah, I'm definitely small for my age
Mm-hmm.
because I'm 12 years old and I'm what?
70 pounds, right?
Yeah, 70 pounds.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how tall exactly.
Mm,
But you're also physically gifted.
yeah.
Right? You take to new sports pretty quickly. You're pretty naturally athletic.
Like, so I was watching a video of Jaden Animations and she is an introvert. But when she does sports, she doesn't get that like competitive feeling. But me, I I want to do wrestling again just so then I can body slam somebody onto the mat.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Right, and lucky for you, like I said, despite being short, you're naturally gifted.
yeah,
You're physically gifted, I should say. So being short in a sport like wrestling is a good example of where you're paired up against people who are the same size as you. So your height is not a disadvantage.
so they distribute it not really by size. Well, by size and by weight.
By weight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could go against someone who's much taller than you, but that weighs the same amount. And both of you would have some benefits from being tall, some benefits from being short. But
Yeah.
I think in the case of wrestling, I think being shorter is actually more of an advantage. I think. I don't wrestle. But.
Yeah, you can definitely like slip by really easily.
Mm.
So, another pro of being short is that when you're short, like halfway through the school year, because I'm in 6th grade, I'm still very short, but I'm going to be hitting a growth spurt here here soon. And I'm really excited for that because you start out short, but then you gradually get taller. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel like I have a speech impediment now.
Yeah. You'll inevitably get taller, I'm sure. You're not done growing yet. That's for sure. How tall would you like to be? 5'10", 6 feet?
Probably your height.
5'10".
Yeah, there's a picture of us on. Oh, never mind. It was just us standing next to each other with a chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I want to be as tall as you. Just like, I don't have to grow too much, but it's like, you are the perfect height.
Mm-hmm.
I want that perfect height.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty average.
Mm-hmm. But a con of being short is that...
Well, how about this? Would you rather be taller but less physically naturally gifted, or would you rather be shorter but naturally gifted in your athletic abilities?
I'd rather be shorter with natural athletic skills because I already have that.
Yeah, I agree. If I could trade 2 inches of my height for more athletic ability, I would do that.
Yeah, and I bet most people would.
Yeah.
Because there's
so
a lot.
Maybe the grass is always greener on the other side, huh?
Yeah.
If you're short, you want to be tall, But I guess in that, that's another way of saying. So if both of us agree that we would rather be physically capable than a particular size, then maybe we're focusing on the wrong things. Maybe what's really important is not so much how tall we are. You could still be tall, short, it doesn't matter quite so much. So much as your capability.
Mhm.
which is nice actually, because we can't really control how tall we are, but we can control what we're capable of,
Yeah.
with training and practice and things like that.
Yeah, so besides the athletic abilities, just like I think I'm basically naturally born liking healthy foods cuz apples it's kind of like apples is kind of like candy to me. Like once you start, you can never stop.
When you were little, it was grapes.
Yeah?
You used to love grapes. We've
Yeah.
told you this before, right?
No, I was told that I always loved either carrots or mashed.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
you ate baby food, you liked carrots because carrots are a sweet vegetable. But once you became a toddler and we started to give you sweeter foods like fruits,
Mhm.
then like grapes are really really sweet, and you loved grapes when you were little. Like it was funny how much you loved grapes.
Yeah, I think I definitely have a sweet tooth.
Mm.
Cause like, if you gave me a bag of candy and you said, "I bet you can't eat this by the end of the day," I'd already eat half the bag in practically an hour.
Challenge accepted, right?
Yeah.
I'll take that challenge on a bag of candy. I don't know, what kind of candy are we talking here? Chocolates? I could do chocolates.
Hershey's chocolate bar.
Yep, I could eat some Hershey's chocolate bars.
But you had to eat 5 of those ginormous packs. Like they're the king size and those
Yeah.
yay big of a box.
There's like a dozen of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Just like 5
Even if
of
I
those.
could do that, I don't think I would.
Yeah, just now, today. So, well, never mind that. Back to pros and cons. We were getting a little sidetracked.
We are. Well, yeah, but we talked about pros and cons, and we kind of came to the conclusion that what's more important than being tall or short, because there's only so many pros and cons, realistically, right?
Yeah.
There's only so many advantages to being tall and so many advantages to being short, or disadvantages of either one. But what really matters is, your athletic ability, right? That was the conclusion that we kind of came to before we got sidetracked.
Yeah. So, I think, just like I said before, your athletic ability becomes naturally, but I think your, your liking of healthy foods also comes naturally.
Yeah, it's important too.
Yeah, because
that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we did talk about how you naturally like apples, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much of that is natural and how much of it is, that's what you received when you were little. That's what you're accustomed to.
Yeah, I remember Mom saying I loved carrots so much that my nose turned orange.
You did. Your skin started to take on an orange hue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought? What a strange thing.
Aha, the new skin color is going to be orange.
Yeah.
Starting from your nose down.
Yeah.
Everything else is just going to be either white or black.
So what do you think? What else?
So we went over the pros of being short.
Mm-hmm.
Now the cons. This is a very common one. I bet all the short people.
This is close to home for you.
Yeah. Tall things.
Tall things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can't reach them. You can't reach tall things.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you can't reach the top shelf in the cabinet.
Yeah, you always have to either use A, a ladder, or B, a stool. Depends on how tall you are.
Yeah.
And what you think is short.
Yeah, that's true. If you're below a certain height, then there's certain things you just can't reach.
Just like if bananas was like a kind of like a vaccine, like a shot.
Bananas.
Bananas.
Okay. Or a shot that you could receive.
Yeah, I would
Then-
inject that into me and just keep doing it forever and ever.
We're talking bananas?
Yeah, I got sidetracked. Anyway,
A banana injection?
yeah, just like mushed up bananas
Why bananas?
because they're very healthy and I love them.
Oh, okay, so you just want to get them into your system as fast as possible. You feel like an
Yeah.
injection would be the fastest way. I think eating them's probably better.
Yeah, that way it's inside your intestines. But
But
you also get it into your blood, and all you can feel and smell is bananas.
bananas.
Yeah, bananas.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Bananas are, I'm sure they're good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly high in potassium. Good for all kinds of things.
I definitely got sidetracked like real quick.
Yeah, I think probably there's healthy foods definitely would, I think, facilitate growth in your body. Right, your body needs certain things, building blocks, if you will.
Mhm.
Bones need calcium, muscles need protein, things like that. So if you're eating healthy foods and making those things available to your body, it can take advantage of them. I mean, if you were malnourished, you didn't have enough of those things, then you would certainly run into growth problems.
Mhm.
But boy, we're off in the weeds now.
Nutrition is important, kids. Yeah. So back to tall stuff.
Yeah.
Just like if you put something up high, like either apples, please never do that
I'm gonna
ever.
put them on the top shelf now.
Or-
You're gonna have to
or
get a ladder.
Or bananas. I love. Those are my two favorite fruits.
Yeah.
Fruits.
Bananas and apples.
Yeah. If you haven't tried dragon fruit, you should.
I have not tried dragon fruit. We tried the star fruit, right?
Yeah, the star fruit is like it tastes like an apple and a kiwi
Yeah.
put together.
Yeah, I remember it was a little bit sour. I forget what I compared it to, though. Oh, my memory is failing me. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I think we covered the short, tall thing, huh?
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to hit? I mean, you were hitting the cons. Obviously, we couldn't reach things.
So I think I might do one more.
Maybe if your seat in a car doesn't adjust very well, then in the correct ways, then being short would make it hard to drive certain cars.
Yeah. Not only that, but being short does affect your athletic ability. Because when you're short, your legs are shorter than an average person.
Mhm.
And, well, you don't go as fast because you're not, like, leaping more, I guess.
Hard to dunk
Mm-hmm.
when you're starting from a lot lower. Yep, for sure. There's some downsides. What do you
But,
think? Do you think you're gonna end up being average?
I think so. Most people usually do.
Yeah, that's why it's an average, right? You'll be somewhere in the median.
Yeah. I want to be your height and
Mhm.
also have my house a zoo.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I wasn't particularly tall as a kid. I was relatively small for my age. And,
So,
I came out to be average. So
if you were my age, 12 years old, would you been shorter or taller or just the same height?
I think I might have been maybe a little bit taller, but not by much.
Yeah. Maybe
You
that's
also just turned 12 too. You know what I mean? Like 11 months from now, you'll be much taller, but you'll still be 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I heard on the World Wide Web that your body grows very, very rapidly, but Earth's gravity is just pulling you down. So instead of stretching out to like 1,000,000 feet tall, gravity is just keeping you at like an average height or smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a slinky. It gravity wants to pull it down to keep it at an average height, but if you pull on it, it just wants to keep growing and growing until, well, you reach your arms out too much and you can't grow anymore. There.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Gravity is kind of the force acting on us at all times.
Yeah, it's just
Keeping us from getting too tall.
This just came to my head. Just why? Not really why, but what if we didn't have gravity? Just like we had a little bit of gravity, like the moon's gravity, but we didn't stop growing.
That'd be crazy. We'd end up being giants, right?
Basically, I mean, small people.
If there is no gravity or low gravity, and we ended up being really tall because of it, that'd be crazy. I'd rather be this height and go somewhere with low gravity. That way I could jump really, really high.
Yeah. Especially when you have leg power.
So I wonder, this is like a physics question. So if you were in a place, like let's say you were on the moon, and you were able to jump as high as you could. Let's say you jump 20 feet in the air. I guess, do you descend just as fast as you ascended, so you land soft still? I think you would, right? Because I'm imagining falling from 20 feet on Earth would be very bad, but falling from 20 feet on the moon, not so bad, I guess.
Yeah. So my answer to that is if Earth has, well, I'm losing my sentences here. So when you fall from a high place on Earth and you can't jump as high, if you jumped 20 feet, and this is hard to explain, if you jump 20 feet and you came down, then you definitely break both your legs.
There's a good chance, yeah.
Or just possibly one.
Yep. Okay.
But if you fall faster than you would going up, I think the same thing would apply with the moon. Like, it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, but I wonder if this is like an equal and opposite reaction. You know what I mean? Like gravity is pulling on you the same going up as it does going down. I don't know. I'm not really sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, we're getting pretty far away from short and tall talk.
Yeah.
Maybe we should introduce Charlie.
Oh, yes. So, everyone, meet Charlie. Charlie, meet everyone.
Charlie.
He's a Pokemon now.
No, he's not. I guess he could be. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Charlie, the tree Pokemon.
Yeah,
also known as a tree.
Is he a tree?
I don't know. I don't know what he is.
I don't know. He's as tall as me.
Yeah.
I'm standing up.
We thought he would be a good backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely like the star here. Just the biggest thing in this picture. In the hub.
Okie dokie. Well,
I think that should wrap it up for today.
Wrap it up for today, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm out of here.
Awesome.
See you next time.
See you in the next one. Next one might be about economy.
The economy?
Mm-hmm.
Money?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, so I hope all of you enjoyed today's podcast number 2. Everybody give a good job in the comments for Dad. It's late at night, so he didn't really want to do this. But be sure to hug your plants and like and subscribe. See you on the next one.